Hi, Tim Gray.
Hello, Lamorna. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the Backstage Greenroom. I think we're up to episode number 5 or 6, maybe 6. This must be the 6th show that we're putting on. And Tim Gray, you're our main curator of Big Noters. So thought it would be nice to have a chat to you about the kind of idea of Big Noters and what do you how you feel like it might be a bit different doing this backstage gig to other stuff that you've been involved in.
Yeah, Big Noters was a concept of a few of us New South Wales Aboriginal people, which we call ourselves Kooris in this state. So each state has a different sort of name, modern day sort of name they give themselves. So Aboriginal people in Queensland, for example, are Murris. Tasmania, they're Palawas. So it's a bit like that.
Uh-huh.
And we thought we'd come together and, form a sort of a music sort of group. And we were struggling with a name. It's always hard to come up with a name, particularly me being a member of a band. Took us like a year to come up with the Green Hand Band.
Yeah. Once you got the name of the band, you can break up then, I think.
Yeah. But we finally settled with Big Noters.
Yeah. And Big Noters kind of implies like you're kind of a bit full of yourself, right? But don't know if it's really the case with you guys.
That's totally that's totally the opposite of what we are.
But we are trying
to sort of like,
yes. You.
Yeah, it's sort of like using a word that means something, maybe slightly negative or egotistical, and flipping it on its head. And what Big Noters is more about is just a bunch of musos coming together. We're all very humble and we all have humility and we keep our egos in check. But it's also, the name also lends itself to the notes on a stave, using big notes, like semi-brief.
Indeed.
So that's what we came up with and we love it. And Big Noters is also a word that's used a lot in slang, particularly between Aboriginal people as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at that big noter. You know what I
mean? Yeah, right. Yeah. And I like how it's kind of a bit funny too.
Yeah.
And do you feel like it's going to be a bit different to be involved in this backstage show to the other gigs that you tend to do? I don't know that I've come across anything quite like this before.
No, I wanted it. Yeah, I wanted it to be different, and I wanted it to be like a yarning circle, but with music. So almost like a culturally traditional sort of, in some ways, a musical corroboree, sharing stories like we've done for thousands of years, sharing either stories that are either personal or dream time stories, things like that. But in this case, it's just a group of Kooris, Aboriginal people coming together, sharing their stories through song, but also sharing it with the audience, their stories of how they wrote the song. It's just like having a yarn around the campfire, just that you break out into song as well.
Right.
So,
and Tim, you're going to do a little set yourself, aren't you? You're going to perform.
Yes.
Yeah.
Initially I wasn't, but yeah. I thought, why not?
Yeah.
You know, why can't the MC also sing? You
You can do everything.
know.
So what's your set going to be about?
Um, yes, I'm going to share a line of something I've been wanting to do on a much bigger scale, but this will be like the preview of where my songwriting began, which was in a drug and alcohol rehab, and where it's taken me to. Even though it's probably only going to be, like I said, this is the mini version. There's probably only going to be 3 or 4 songs.
Yep.
But it'll be a summarization of where my music's gone, or how music's taking me on my journey.
Yeah. Well, I think that's really going to be a really interesting story to hear more about, and really looking forward to it. And who else have we got performing? We've got Michael Burke.
Yeah, we got Michael Burke, who
Tell us a little bit about Michael.
So I met Michael through Eora TAFE when I was studying there back in 2010, 2011, and went back to 2013, and that's where I met Michael. But I actually got to know him through his sister, actually, who's passed on now.
Right.
Because the tour guiding job that I have down at Barangaroo, which we started in 2015, Jess Burke was one of those tour guides.
Oh.
And I got to meet the whole family, and actually found out that we're actually related.
Seems to be a common story.
With Aboriginal people,
yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of connections, lots of friends and family connections.
That's right.
Well, I've noticed. So.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Awesome. And then we've got Amelia. So Amelia is a young woman who's just, I think, graduated from the con, and Troy put me in touch with Amelia, and she's doing some really beautiful stuff with like looping pedals, and she's a singer. So that's going to be really nice. She's a bit of a new one to the scene, I think. And then Troy, tell us about Troy.
Troy Russell, yes. So I've known Troy since 2006. We met each other through the Tribal Warrior Association, where we both did our maritime training to become deckhands.
You?
And Troy and I, yeah. And then after I went off to rehab and came back, he also got sober, but not through, not the same way I did. Uh-huh. And we're now both on the board of that organisation, Tribal Warrior.
There you go.
But obviously, but I also met him through music as well. I was in a band together. We're in a band together called the Black Turtles.
Yep.
And so we've known each other for quite some time. And now he's in my band, the Green Hand Band. So.
Oh, really? I didn't realise that. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's a rhythm guitarist. Yeah.
Ah. Oh, there you go. Excellent. And I, of course, met you both doing Narraburia, the first round of Narraburia.
Yes.
It's been quite a while that I've known you guys too. So it's really nice to be kind of taking this relationship somewhere a bit different, from you guys being the composers and me being the performer, to you guys being the performers and being on the stage, and me being a bit behind the scenes. So it's going to be cool.
I think that's great. I always wanted to do it. One day we should get, because reggae, you can put anything to reggae. We should get reggae. We should get Green Hand Band, Ensemble, Offspring on stage. Because if you think about Bob Marley and the Wailers, right? They used to have 20 people on stage. Someone would have a triangle. There was someone on the xylophone. Yeah. There was someone over here on something else. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be perfect for Ensemble Offspring to do a reggae set.
It would be really fun. Well, look out. Well, that could be next.
That would be, I think.
And one last thing to talk about.
Nudge, nudge.
Yeah. One last thing to talk about. We decided that we wanted all our ticket sales to go towards a charity.
Yep.
So we decided on Wayanga. Am I saying Wayanga correctly?
Oh yes, Wayanga. Yep, means mother in the local language.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about them.
So Wayanga is situated, not far from their office is not far from where the gig is. Actually, it's straight up the road, next to Crew Radio.
Yep.
Gadigal Studios there, and Tribal Warrior. It's a little bit of a hub there with Aboriginal organisations, with the job agency AES just up a little bit. Wayanga sort of like helps out the the older generation of Aboriginal people, aged care, helps with getting the older people around and helping the elderly with their daily needs in the community. And it's just a wonderful organisation, and it'd be awesome to be able to help them out in any sort of way we could. Yeah. So we'll have to get in touch with them, won't we? Actually, let them know that. Definitely. But it's also because NAIDOC Week this year's theme is also about elders. So that's another reason why I thought it'd be nice to do that for Wayanga.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be. Yeah, it's something that's a bit different, that's for sure. So it's really nice.
Yeah.
Anything else to say? The gig's on the 10th of June, 7:30, 82 Coke Street, Waterloo.
Yep.
That's it, I think. And it's Reconciliation Week next week, so everyone get involved in that. Any suggestions about how to get involved, Tim?
It's Sorry Day this Friday, actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
Friday. Okay.
Get involved. Just turn up to look on, search on Google for a reconciliation event, similar to what you would do in NAIDOC, and just go and have a look, and if you're a non-Indigenous person and you see an Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander person at one of these events, just go up and say hello. There'll be stalls and things as well. You can, if you want information about or any about the history and stats around, why Reconciliation Week is so important. Yeah, just go and do some research. Go and find out for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's so many amazing books and films and TV shows, and whatever to dip into to find out more about all our history. So
that's right.
Yeah, and also great to just have a chat. So
that's right. Just have a yarn. Just like anybody else.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thanks so much, Tim, and we'll hopefully see heaps of people on the 10th of June at Cope Street, Waterloo, for big NOTERS.
Yeah, there'll be packed to the rafters.